Take your job step by step. You can do it. I know you can. Look at that. I've got those up in there. This bottom one is the longest one, so I'm going to start that one first and get these other ones situated in there. Make sure I've got the screw pushed in all the way so that can flop down. Okay, and I'm holding the bottom one up with my finger. Got the screw in there where it's supposed to go. Kind of wiggle that. Hold my mouth just right. I want to get these wires back inside the box from where it was before. Kind of pull on it a little bit. I can feel that where they stripped the wires coming through the box. This one's coming through the box just fine. Okay. Now, I'm going to split the difference of where the existing box was just a hair big, and the cover plate will cover it, you know, but if I split it, I'll be more than rest assured that it'll fit. Okay, I'm going to hold it right there, push that in. Now as I turn it right to there, that thing has popped up like that, and see, that's why I pushed the insulation back just a little bit to make sure that the insulation wasn't holding it from popping up. Because I've done it before where I tightened it and tightened it and tightened it, and then it seemed loose, and that was because the flap didn't go up all the way because it was hitting the insulation. Okay. So now that's just sucking that little plastic thing on the back in towards the sheetrock right now until I can feel it snug up. And I'm not going to tighten it too much. I'm going to do this one here. This one's going to flap down as I screw this right to there. Okay. Now it's sucking in to the back, and now I can feel it's tight right there where it's snug. Now I'm just going to tighten it up a little bit more. Not too tight, just snug. It's only plastic, you know. You don't want to go too much. That's why they have those little tits on there to hold it up against the sheetrock, and the cover plate is going to end up covering all that. Okay. Look at that. You've done it, by Joe. Just like that. Okay. I've got that lined up. If you wanted to adjust it, you would just loosen this up just a hair and then move this back and forth, move it back and forth. But I'm looking at it. It all looks very nice. Okay. Good show. Well, this is what your project's going to look like so far. See how nice that is? Nice and clean. The cover plate's going to cover this over here. That little edge. It's going to cover that. If anything, I could have slid it to the right just ever so little. And maybe I will. Maybe I will do that. I'm kind of looking at it and seeing, do I really want to do that? Okay, so got it just a hair better over there. Tighten that. Double check. There. Okay. And you know, when you get all done, sometimes as you're cutting in a cut-in box, you might do a boo-boo, or there might be some paper or a piece of sheetrock mud next to it. As you pull it out, that makes this line a little bit bigger. And at the store, you can get the mid-size cover plates, which is just a hair wider than this, or you can get a jumbo one. So if you had a hole, that you don't want to caulk, because obviously I wouldn't want to caulk that if it didn't cover. I could get a different cover plate. I could get a mid-size cover plate. Nobody's ever going to know the difference. You'll know, but nobody else will. So there's a tip for you. speaking of tips, before I started working on that, I should have put a drop down. I think I did. I did, because see, here's all the sheetrock dust and stuff. But what I should have done was put a couple layers of masking tape on the carpet, boom, across there, and then another one up along the baseboard, just above the baseboard on the wall, let's say. Then I wouldn't have gotten all that stuff on there. But I'll take a little cheapo paintbrush, clean that all up as I'm vacuuming and stuff. But if you didn't have a vacuum to get right in the tip, you know, down next to the baseboard, that's when you could have just put masking tape down there first and then put your drop. Okay, usually I do that. This time I just happened to forget. Okay, I'm not going to make that up just yet. I'm going to go downstairs and run my wiring, I think, is the next thing. Or, yeah, I've got to run my wiring, because not only do I have to make that up, I've got to run a wire from there over to here before I make that up, right? And so my next step is to take the whole roll of wire down there. That's why I left the rest of the plastic on here. See? Comes like that, and I just cut a circle out there. Then you can grab the wire and start pulling out there. Then it's not going to all unravel on you. Okay? I'll just leave it in that plastic from here on out until I don't have any wire left, you know, on my next project or so. Okay, so now I can take my wire down there and start pulling some wire. Okay, well, I'm back down under here, underneath the house. So my next thing I've got to do, here's my junction box. The power's coming down from that plug up above, and I put it into this box. Now I need to take another piece of Romex out of there, and the plug in the floor, the outlet in the floor, is just beyond these pipes. Remember? Hopefully you were with me the other day when I was out here cutting that in. Let's see where it was. I think it was just beyond this, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, right there, see? There's where it is. Right smack there. I've got to run the wire all the way across, way over there, where that electrical outlet is. So I've got my Romex, and I could come straight across the bottom of all these floor joists. But you know, I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna go up from that box, run it along that wall over there. Okay, and then I'm gonna run it over there, and then come along the side of the TJI floor joists, and I'm going to push the insulation up a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit more of a hassle to do that, but then when I get all done, you're not going to really see the wire, the exposed wiring down here. It'll be up underneath the insulation, so I've got to look at and see which bay that is. It's that bay just beyond that that black upright there, right there. So I'm going to run the wire along over there and pull it up along there. And so that's my next thing I'm going to do. And after that, once I get that wire up out of the floor, then I'm going to go back inside, because I was talking to Mommy, and she was like, what are you going to do today? She wants to get the couch all put back together and cleaned up and vacuumed and everything. She's going to have people over in a couple days. And so before I finish anything else, I'm going to do that to here, and then later, you know, after I get everything done inside, then I'll come back down here again and run my lights and my switches, my switch, my electrical outlet, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, have a game plan, and that way I'll be able to put the couch all back together, patch the carpet there a little bit around the electrical outlet, put the electrical outlet in, move all the furniture back in, vacuum first, move the furniture and hook it all back together, and then take all those cords, plug them all in, and all that stuff before I come back underneath the house. Then she'll be all nice and happy, and knowing that everything's cleaned up inside the house. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So I've got my wire there, and it's still in the roll, and I'm just going to go ahead and start running the wire. I'm not going to start from over there. I'm gonna keep the wire about where it's at. I might pull it downhill. I might pull it downhill just a little bit from where it's at, and then I'll fish the wire cable up there. That way I don't have to pull it out of that whole roll. You know what I mean? Don't necessarily have to start all the way down at the electrical outlet per se. I can just leave it right here, and then as I pull it, I'll just it'll just come out of this roll right where it's at, you know. Okay, so I'm going to keep it, like I say, I'm going to keep it along that wall, and I'm just going to push some through there for starters. And then I can reach over there, and it will keep pulling out of my roll right where it's at. Right where it's at. I'll leave my light situated kind of like that. And I'll get you resituated, I think. Maybe I'll just leave you here for right now. I don't know if I've got some dust on my lens here or not. I think it's just the light shining on there. Okay, so yeah, I guess I can crawl up. Oh, I guess I can come over here on the right and crawl up there for now. Let's take my box of staples with me. Things didn't used to tire me out like this when I was a kid. Jeez, I must be getting old. Old man. Trying to do this stuff, I'm all out of breath. I don't mind doing it myself. I mean, I'm saving lots of money doing it myself. Okay, I'm gonna rearrange this light a little bit. I can see see. Okay. There. Hey, you just do one little thing at a time and you'll get her. All right, let's go over there and keep pulling that wire.